In this session, I will be discussing more about the basic of the set theory. So, what is the set? The concept of set is extremely basic and pervades the whole of the present day mathematical thoughts. So, set is defined when we say any well-defined collection of objects. So, well-defined collection of objects means this object needs to be well-defined and it should be a collection of the things. So for example, set of all students in your class, set of all prime numbers, set whose members are you and my left ear. Again, so you is well defined, my left ear is well defined. If we just say the set whose members are you and left ear, so that is not well defined because left ear of whom. So in mathematics everything needs to be well defined as we have learnt earlier. So all it takes to determine a set is some way of specifying the collection, right? If A is a set, then object in the collection A are called either members or the elements of A. So we normally talk more in the sense that it is an element of A. So we say X belongs to A, this symbol is belongs to A, means that X is a part of, is an element of A, right? So now let's take few of the example of the sets so we get more and more idea about it. So let's say the first set is set of all integers less than 10. Okay, so we define this set as A. So all of these integers will be like this, right, because we are talking only about the integers. So it's again well defined. It's less than, not less than, equal to, so 10 will not be included, right? Another set could be something like this, is like 1, 2, then we can write this 3. Now pay a close attention, this is a single element which is different from 1, 2 and 3 and is also different from 1, 2. Because this is one element, this is one element, this is one element and this one element. This is called an ordered pair of 1 and 2, but this is a single element. All are elements here. Similarly, all are elements here, right? We can take few more examples of set. So let's say we define set C. Set C is defined as ordered pair of 1, 2. Let's say 2, 3 and triplet of 1 and 2, 3, right? So again this element is different from these two, or let's say 1, 2, 3, because it's a triplet, but it's again another element which is different, right? So sets could be the collection of all elements, right? So this is one element, this is another element, this is another element, this is element, this is element, this is element. All the elements are divided by comma, and whatever is there is an element, right? So we have seen in our logic in our previous session that we came across the various words, right? So let's try to draw in parallel in set theory. So the words which we have learned out there is and, or, not, and we have given them the symbol, so we call them a logical symbol. So for and we have given this symbol, for or we have given this symbol, for not we have given this symbol. In set theory, it too does have certain meanings. So the and is given a symbol called intersection. This is called intersection, okay? Though it means the same. Or is said as union, which is again given a symbol like this, like a U, union. And not is given by this thing, which is also known as complement of set, right? So before going deep into all these symbols and the things which we have done earlier in our logic, let's try to study more about a very particular set which is quite different than the other sets. Okay, so okay, all right. So here is another set which is quite important. It is convenient in mathematics to introduce a set that has no elements. That is we called as an empty set or a null set. Empty set or null set. There will be only one such set, of course, because it has no elements, so it will be only one. Since any such two will have exactly the same number of elements, thus equal. The empty set is denoted by this letter. Okay. Now this is not the normal Greek letter phi. This is empty set. This empty set can be specified in many ways. Example: empty set is x belonging to R where x square is less than 0. You know that all the x square belonging to R is greater than 0. Similarly, x belonging to natural number where x is between 1 and 2. You know that this is not possible until unless we put here equal to sign. But since equal to is not there, similarly empty set where x is not equal to x, right? Please note this phi and this is different because this is one of the elements of the set, right? And phi is an empty set but it has no members, but this has one member which is phi. So this and this are not equal, but you can always say empty set belongs to this set, so it's a member of this set or the element of this set, right? Now we will go into the way see, in mathematics sometimes it is easy to visualize the things. Normally in mathematics we are not able to visualize a lot of things, but in set theory there is something which will enable you to visualize the things quite easily. For that to happen, we'll have to so this part of the set theory is called Venn diagram. It will help you to visualize the things for set theory, right? So let's understand what is Venn diagram. So for understanding Venn diagram, first we have to define the sample set. Sample set, or let's say universal set. Right? Then so what is a sample set? So let's say I say we take a sample set of 100 people from your locality. So that sample set is 100 people from your locality, right? Okay, so this is one of the sample set. Any member of this set, let's say set A, will be part of this sample set, right? So we say A is a set of people whose age is above 40. We also define here something called cardinality of sample set or the cardinality of A. So the cardinality means nothing but the number of elements in that particular set. So if you take cardinality of S is equal to 100, and let's say we have 40 people, 30 people whose age is above 40 among this. So cardinality of A is 30 and henceforth, right? So before diving deep down into Venn diagram, let's try to understand the properties which we have earlier discussed, right? So how to represent them in the set theory. So we have used the three words. So we have defined again the and the equivalence in set theory, this and is intersection, right? So now let's see what this intersection means in a set theory. So earlier while trying to define this and, we have taken various examples from number theory, right? For example, x is greater than 3 and x is less than 4, and then we try to find the common things, right? So let's also try here with few of the sets and try to find the common ones. So this is and is intersection is more like and it should be the common ones, right? So let's take an example. Let the set A be defined as set of all integers less than 5, and B set of all integers. We can say positive integer because negative, there could be also positive negative integers. Positive integers greater than 3, right? So you can usually write this set: all integers less than positive integers less than 5 is 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? Similarly, set B of all positive integers greater than 3. So now we will write the set B here. So set B could be written as greater than 5 is 4, 5, 6 and so on till infinity, right? So this is a very big set, right? And this is a very small set of only 4 elements. So the cardinality of this set is 4, but cardinality of B is, since it is enumerative, we can say infinity, right? Now when we say A and B, so here we will try to find what is in A and B. We are used to that one, but in set theory we call it as A intersection B. It has the same meaning, it is and this is intersection. So meaning by among these two sets, what are the elements which are common, right? So you can clearly see from here that A intersection B will be only 4, nothing else, because how to find the intersection B here? So take all the smaller ones, smaller set 1, 2, 3, 4 and see if it is available in B, right? Please also note, in set theory or in logic, since unlike English, mathematics is well defined, so it gives you certain advantages, right? So A and B is same as B and A, or we can say A intersection B is same as B intersection A, right? In English, if you try to do that, it will not be same. For example, when I say you get a free hit in cricket and you have scored a 6, right? No, you get a free hit and a 6 is scored, right? But when I reverse the statement, I say a 6 is scored and there is a free hit. These two statements are not the same, because a 6 is scored, then it's possible that it is not on the free hit or something like that, because it's not obvious, right? But in set theory or in logical mathematics, it is quite the same, right? Let's see, we have taken one example of one A and A intersection B. Let's try to take 4 more examples so we understand it properly. So let's say the set A is all positive integers less than 10. Again you can write A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then set B is all prime numbers less than 10, right? 10. So B can be written as 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number and 7 is a prime number between 1 to 10. So if you try to find again A intersection B, the easiest way would be to start from the smaller set, so B, right, and see whether the elements are there in A or not, and we'll try to find the common thing. So again, A intersection B is nothing but A and B, meaning by these two things should happen simultaneously or is have a common thing, right? So this could be 2, 3, 5 and 7, right? Now let's take few more complex examples of A and B, because I want to go through this part as much as we can say. So let's say C is a set having element 1, 2, an ordered pair 1, 2, then we have 3, then an ordered pair 2, 3, right, and something like that. And D is all ordered pair of 1, 2, 3, so it will be 1, 2, 2, comma 1, 3 and 2, comma 3, right? Now again, if you want to find C intersection D, you have to look at the common elements, right? And let's say it also has element called 3. Now if you look at 1 2, it appears here. If you look at 1 3, it doesn't appear here. 2 3 appears here, and 3 also appear here. So C and D will be nothing but 1 2 1 3, oh no, sorry, 2 3 and comma 3. So these are the sets, these are the common elements which we called as a C intersection D or C and D, right? Now let's take our second word which was used is or in logical symbol, whose is this. Now the set theory symbol is this, which is the union, right? So again, take few of the sets which are quite similar. So we'll take those similar sets, so we on the same side. So what is, we'll be able to recognize what is the difference between A intersection B and A union B, right? So if we take set of all positive so if we take set of all positive integers less than 5, which is this, and we take B is this, right? So now if we have to find A union B, meaning why, it should be either in A or in B, right? So in order to do that, the easiest way of doing that is you write all the elements of A. So here A union B will be nothing but, you write all the elements of A, which is 1 2 3 4. Now find a common element which is there. So 4 is already there, you don't have to write. Then you have 5 6 and stuff like that, right? So it will go like infinity. A union B will be set of all positive integers, right, here in this case, while A intersection B will be just the element 4, right? So A union B will be the bigger number here, bigger sets with the more elements into it, because it counts, it takes into the consideration of all the elements of A as well as in the or the elements of B, right? Now let's take the second example. A is all positive integer less than 10 and B is all prime number less than 10. So we again will try to write the A union B here, A union B here, which will be again writing all the elements of A so yeah, A 7 8 9, right? And you can see that 2 3 5 7 is already included into it. So A union B will be equal to A this time, right? Now let's move to our third example which we have taken. So this is a set C and this is a set D. Now C intersection D, we have found it like this by counting the number of different elements, the elements which are appearing together, right? Now let's try to write the C union D here. So C union D will be all the elements in A. So 1 2, oh sorry, C, not A. Then we have 3, then 2 3. We will not repeat the elements which are there in C already. So 1 2 we don't need to write. 1 3 we need to write because it is not in C, right? And 2 3 is there already, 3 is already there. So this will be compromising the C union D. We have also learned that so before now we have also in a similar manner we have gone to the very complex problems which compromises of the two parts. So let's say union and not, okay, not and union, not of union, not of intersection, and all those things we need to decide, right? So before going into that, I'll go again to the Venn diagram, and we have defined the sample set, right? So first we have to define the not. For defining the not, the easiest way would be to use the Venn diagram. So Venn diagram is nothing but a easier way to represent a particular set, right? So let's go into the Venn diagram again, and let's see what this A complement or not of A again. So we are now going to define not. This is our logical symbol, and our set theoric symbol is this which is complement, right? We have drawn the parallel of it. So for that to happen, let's define the Venn diagram. So we say that there is a sample set of, let's say, 100 people in your locality. So we selected 100 of your people from your place, 100 people selected from your locality. Now let's say we define the set A is the all the people whose age is above, let's say, 30, right? Now so this is the sample set as where we have selected 100 people, and out of this 100 people we have defined the set whose age is above 30 among these 100 people, right? So in order to show that in a Venn diagram, you need to draw first the sample set. So in Venn diagram we always draw the sample set as a square or a rectangle box, and we define that as a sample set. Now A set is defined as all the people whose age is above 30, so this we defined as a A, right? So let's say the cardinality or count of this is 40 people. So 40 people has age above 30, right? So these are 40 and these are 100 people. So what is not of A? Not of A, meaning by in this sample set, is nothing but 100 minus 40, right? So this is nothing but 60, correct? We have also seen a few of the things which we will be using, which we will be seeing through the Venn diagram now. So first of things which we have seen is not of. Let's say set A is always A, right? Then we have said not of A union B is nothing but not of A intersection not of B, right? Not of A intersection. Please note I am not using the word and or, I am using the word union and intersection here. Is not of A union not of B. So which is similar to saying, this is similar to saying A complement intersection B complement. This is A complement union B complement. It's the same thing, right? And this can be also written as A union B complement. Then this could be also written as A intersection B complement, right? So all these things, all these statements are same, right? Or this could be written as A complement of complement is A, right? But when we say how do we represent that, all these things in Venn diagram? So first try to represent A union B or A intersection B in the Venn diagram, right? So for that to happen, we need to have a sample set, right? So let's draw a sample set here, and all there are two sets belonging to this sample set, right? So let's say we have a set A and this is a set B. This is a sample set. I'll give you an example of that later on. So let's say we define this sample set again as 100 people selected from your locality, and A is defined as set of people from this sample set below age 30, and set B is defined as set of people whose height is above 5 feet. Okay, so let's say this is 100 people, and let's say this is 40 people, and this is 30 people or so. So this sample set has 100 people, now this has 40 people, now 30 people. But you will realize here that there is a possibility that person whose age is below above, and also the person height is below 5 feet, right? This is quite possible. So that will compromise of this set A intersection B. Now let's take a look closely of the Venn diagram and use our logic to define A intersection B. So again, this is our set, sample set, and this is our set A, and this is our sample set B. Now we say A and B, which is same as again A intersection B. What we have said about A and B, with that these two things needs to be common. It needs to happen simultaneously. You can clearly see in this example that this is the part which represents A intersection B, right? This is A intersection B, right? Now let's talk about A union B. So this again is our sample set. So I'll give you a better tips and technique how to find those things A union and intersection, and we aim to find A or B, or saying that A union B. That meaning by first you have to color all the elements of A. So this is the part you are coloring here, right? Or it could be in B. So whichever part which is been colored, you don't need to do that. So again this part is colored. So A union B is nothing but this colored part which we defined as an A union B, which is as per our logic. It should be either in A or in B. Now we have also tried to say earlier that, so let's try to draw the parallel between our logical statement and this thing. So we have said A complement is A. Now how we are going to do that, right? So let's say this is our sample set, right? Sample set as this is our A. So what is A complement? We draw A complement here first. So this is A. So what is not in A is our A complement, right? So according to our Venn diagram, this segment should be as A complement, right? Now let's take the complement of A complement. So this part is there. So which part is not there is your this one, right? So this part, as you can see, is A complement's complement, or the not of A. So this is again, right? So this part here represents A complement's complement, which is equal to again A, right? Now let's try to see the other parts which are important, right? We have established that earlier, but in sort of in order to understand that in set theory, how we are going to do that. So we have a set, S is our sample set, A is our set A, this is set B. Now we have also established earlier that not of A and B is nothing but not of A union not of B. So having said that, it is same as A intersection B complement is equal to A complement union B complement. Now we are going to prove that using our Venn diagram, or try to visualize that using our Venn diagram. So let's see what is the A intersection B complement. We know here that A intersection B is this part. So what will be the complement of that one? The complement of that one will be, oh sorry, okay, so the complement of this part will be this set, right? These things which is not in A intersection B. Now we need to see prove that this is equal to A complement union B complement, right? So now how we are going to do that? So for intersection you need to color it with two parts, and you have to find the common one, right? So this can be done via this. So let's try to see how we have found the A intersection B first. So A intersection B would be found like this, A, B, A. So let's say you color it with first one with all A part as horizontal lines, and then B with vertical lines. So wherever these horizontal lines and vertical lines meet is A intersection B, as we have seen here. A intersection B is this one, right? Now for finding the OR, it is slightly easier. So let's try to find A complement union B complement first, right? Okay, so how do we find A complement? First draw, so A complement or B complement now is needed. A complement or means union B complement. So first you need to draw the A complement here, shade it. So A complement will be nothing, this is our A, this is our B, right? So just shade all the parts which are, A complement. Now when you say union, you need to shade all the parts which are B complement. So let's try to do with a different color. So B complement will be nothing but again this part, right? So you can see apart from this part, each and every part is covered. So this is equivalent to saying this is equal to A intersection B complement. As we have established, this shaded part is nothing but the A intersection B complement, like this, and and this is also is complement of A intersection B, because this A intersection B, the complement of A intersection B is the part which is not covered in A intersection B, right? So you have established this quite easily, and by logic also it should work. Similarly, it's up to the students to say define this, that the complement of A union B is nothing but A complement intersection B complement, right? So once you are able to do all these things, it is being pretty easy exercise. Now let's try to do some examples with a common, complement and union, right? So again we'll have the set, let's say we have set A, this is set B, and now we need to find A intersection B complement. Okay, so how we are going to do that? Again, first we will color the A with let's say horizontal lines, let's say vertical lines, whatever, doesn't matter, right? Now its intersection, so we need to draw the B complement as a horizontal line now. So this part is, as you know, is B complement, which is not in B. Now you will see that this is the part which is common here, right, where horizontal and vertical line meets. So we define this as this part will be this is the only part, and we define this as only A, right, because it is only in A. So if you look closely, so our result will be here, for this output will be only this part, right? So this part is what is the intersection of A intersection B complement, right? Now this part we have let's define this part as well, because this will be quite crucial in our further studies. So this part we defined as only A, which we have defined this as only A as this. So I have given this just simple symbol for using this. Now let's try to find another one, which will be, let's say, again we have two sets. We are right now working in only two sets. I'll go into the three sets later on. So this is our sample set again. Now this is our A, this is our B. Okay, now let's say we want to find A complement union B. Again, first you have to draw all the parts which are not in A. Then we have to draw the parts which are in B, right? So you can see that again it's only A is left, so it is a complement of this, will be only A complement, because apart from that part everything is covered, right? You can also use the complement rule to find this. So if, let's say, we have, so if we have A, only A is A intersection B union, right? Sorry, A intersection B complement. So we have we have A, only A is A intersection B complement, and we have to find the complement of this. So this will be complement of this will be A complement, and this will reverse. So union B complement complement, which is equal to A complement union B. So you reached at the same thing again and again, right? You can derive it from the other thing. So this is all about the our basic operations on the set, which is A union B, then trying to find the complement of two sets, trying to find the complement of the union of two sets. First is complement, then trying to find the union of it. Second is, let's say, complement, and then trying to find the intersection of that. All these operations are covered, so you can do easily via the Venn diagram, right? Now, but I'll just write you the basic thumb rules once again, just we have done in the logic. So what are these basic rules which we have used earlier? A complement is always A. Second, A intersection B complement is A complement union B complement. Third, we have derived A union B complement is A complement intersection B complement. Then we have also the rules like A intersection B is same as B intersection A. 5. A union B is same as B union A. Then we have also realized that so these are the few basic examples of the basic set theory, and you can work later on these things, right? So you will try to find the various sets, their complements, combining this union and complement together, intersection and complement together. So just try to practice more and more, or what you can do is here. So please note that all these things should have a sample set, right? Without the sample set, it doesn't make any sense, right? So the sample set needs to be defined first, and then you need to draw the Venn diagram properly and find all those things. So I will also be discussing about a very important concept here, which is your Cartesian product of Cartesian product of A and B. So let me define the Cartesian product first. Okay, so it's loading. So Cartesian product of A and B is defined as the ordered pair A and B, where A belongs to A and B belongs to B. So let's try to find some of the examples how we can define so, right? So let's say A is your 1, 2, 3, 3 elements only. Take a smaller examples, and this is 4 and 5. So what will be the Cartesian product? All such ordered pair where A belongs to A and B belongs to B. So we write A B is equal to all the ordered pairs. So the first one will be 1, 4. Yeah. The second one will be 1, 5. Right. Then we'll have 2, 4. Then we have 2, 5. Right. Oh, and we missed few ones. Yeah. 3, 4. Then 3, 5. So all these ordered pairs form a Cartesian product of it. I'm not going to prove the few of the basic rules of the Cartesian product. I'm just going to mention it for your record, which will be used later. So let's see. Yeah. So we have let's ABCD be the set. Then the Cartesian product of A and B union C is Cartesian product of AB union AC. Similarly, all these formulas will be used. So one of the things which we have not defined so far is the subset, which is also very crucial. So I'll define the subset here so that you understand the last formula. So A is a subset of P, meaning by, take a Venn diagram so we'll understand it better. So B is here. So if A is a subset of B, meaning by A should lie under B. So this is the Venn diagram for A is a subset of B. Given A is a subset of B, then you can say A union B is nothing but B, and A intersection B is nothing but A. This is up to you to find out, and from the Venn diagram you can prove it. right? Or by a simple logic you can prove it, right? So this is all about the sets we have. Now let's move to one of the few more important points